Okay, so I wanted to show you a little bit more of Matplotlib and how we might do some data analysis by getting real data. So I'm going to show you how to do all of those things. As you can see, here we are in our terminal. So let's go ahead and get our Jupyter Notebook started. So first thing I want to do is make sure I've got my virtual environment activated. We can do this every time. It's good practice, right? Activate. Okay, we've got Venv at the beginning of our line there, so we know, okay, we're logged in here in our virtual environment. So let's go ahead and start our Jupyter Notebook. And as I said, I want to start doing a little bit of data analysis. So let me grab this. Let me open our pandas one here. Okay, good. All right. So to do some of our data analysis, we need to get a new data set. And let's get something that's a little bit more robust. Now, the way to do that, a great place is this site called Kaggle. Has lots of free data sets. The one I thought we would work with that seemed like it had some good medical costs data set. See if I can find that. Medical. Oh, I should spell cost right. Let me try that. Medical cost. See if I can find. You can see all of these data sets here. There's tons of them. I don't think this was the one I used, but let me double check. Maybe it is. Oh, yeah, this is it. Yep. Actually, this is not the one I used, but this looks very similar, except it's in Spanish. Let me see. That was the same data set, but all of the column names were in Spanish, which is not ideal. Here we go. This is the one I used. Okay. So you'll see it says medical underscore cost underscore data set. This is a fairly simple data set, and it worked pretty well. So go ahead and download this. Now, when you click download, it's probably going to ask you to log in. You can go ahead and log in with your Google address and download this data set. And what you're going to get is this, you're going to get a zip containing this medical cost CSV. And if you're interested, you can kind of look at Kaggle and see what's in there, what kind of information's in there. We can see there's 8 columns, or what we would call features, right? There's 8 features to our data set, including age, unique identifier, the sex of the patient, BMI, number of children, whether or not they're a smoker. And then finally, kind of what we would call our target is the cost here. We also get region, right? And that cost is why do I call that our target? Because for a lot of our analysis, ultimately, that's kind of what we're going to be looking at. We're going to be trying to either predict that eventually or just get some information around what kind of factors are leading to cost. So that charges. That's going to be our target generally. But go ahead and download that. I've already done that. So you'll notice inside of my machine learning folder, inside of data here, I've got my medical cost CV, and that's what you want. Have your CSV right inside the data folder for you. Okay, and so now let's go down to the bottom of our Jupyter Notebook here. Okay, and we want to bring in that medical costs data set. By the way, make sure you run all your cells first to make sure all your stuff is imported properly. Okay, we had, oh yeah, when we were trying to change because I haven't gone through the process here of taking out all the stuff that we had taken out before, but that's fine. We don't need to do that right now. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, we're going to work with our medical costs now. So the first thing we're going to do is say medical cost equals pd.read underscore CSV. We're going to pass it where it is in the file, which is inside the data folder. And it's called medical underscore cost .csv. Okay, we'll run that. No errors, so we're in really good shape. Perfect. Let's go ahead and look at our new data frame. Now, if you remember correctly, there's an easy way of just looking at part of it so we don't really get overwhelmed with the data, which is just hitting dot head at the end and just giving us a general sense. And it gives us the first 5. I actually want to see the first, I think 10 would be better. And then we can get the first 10. Okay, there they are. And we can kind of see here we got a mix of men and women, female, male. We've got a mix of sexes, some ages, some young, some on the older side, right? Mix of children. Looks like significantly more smokers than not. That's kind of interesting. Let's keep an eye on that. That may be just an issue of the 10 at the head, or it may be an issue with the larger data set. For instance, let's see, how does the 10 compare with the rest of the data set? And the way we can do that is we can actually check the length of our data frame. Okay, 1,338. So that first 10 might not really be indicative of anything. It would be nice if we could start seeing some visual representations of what's in our data frame. So let's go ahead and do that. Why don't we do like a histogram, okay? We'll do medical underscore cost dot I wonder if I can do hist right like that. Let's see. I can. Okay, cool. Yeah, so right away, I should have done the semicolon there. No, I don't. Okay. So this is really fast and easy to get some really clear look at what's going on with our data set here. ID is not that valuable to us. BMI is kind of interesting. So you'll notice we've got kind of this 20 to 50 range with a majority of it in our kind of 30 range. Okay. Charges are mostly low, but kind of rank up, and number of children. Okay. You'll notice this is only, though, the numerical data, so maybe not that helpful, right? One of the things we can do with our histogram is we can look at specifically, we'll do a proper histogram. So let's look at, well, actually, we can do this. This is even easier. Let's just look at the length of medical cost sorted by medical underscore cost when the value is when the column that we're looking at is going to be smokers, or smoker, what's it called? Smoker. And we're interested in when smoker is equal to, let's say, yes. So let me just go through this line real quickly and what this is doing. What we're asking is, what is the length of a data frame that includes all of the values of medical costs where the value of medical cost smoker is yes? When we hit enter, we get 274. So interestingly enough, that's substantially less than half. So already we're starting to get a sense that even though our head says yes, no, 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 actually, that's fairly representative, right? That there are a lot fewer yes smokers than there are going to be no smokers, right? And we can see that by grabbing this length. And theoretically, if we do this, but we change this to no, that should be the rest of our smokers, right? And there we go. So we have significantly fewer smokers than we have smokers. Okay. I'll be back in a second, and on the next video, we're going to work on doing a scatter plot. And here's what I want you to do. Go ahead, using this kind of setup here. Wait, sorry. We've got to set up our scatter plot, right? So if I want to just look at, let's say, a scatter plot of the smokers. So if we do this, smokers is going to equal just a section of our data frame, which is going to be, let's say, this section of our data frame. We can actually copy that. Command copy. Command V. And we want to change this to yes. And this will be just the smokers. And then we're going to do a scatter plot on these smokers. So let's go smokers.scatter. Meaning, actually, let's do plot. And then we can indicate the kind, let's say scatter. And then we can indicate a few other things. We need to indicate what the X value is going to be. Let's say age in this case. Let's do a Y value of BMI. And then we can also do a C value. And I'll show you what the C value is in a second. Right? And let's go ahead and set our fig size equals 10.6. Okay, and let's see what this looks like. Ready? Cool. Okay, so we've already got some information here about our data, at least about the smokers, and I want to explore this a little bit more. What I want you to do is change this and save me three separate scatter plots. This can be one of them, and look back at your notes on how to save some of these plots, right? How to save these figures. So I want you to save 3. And I want you to change age, BMI, and charges around a little bit and play with the different things we can get out of our data set and see maybe what kind of information we might be able to garner from this. Look at this and see, what does this say, right? What is happening here? Is there any information we can sort of garner from what we're seeing already, okay? So 3 figures, go ahead and save them and turn them in with this assignment.